and it was asked early on, and maybe, well, I don't know. It was a while ago, and they were both visibly uncomfortable answering the question when they were put on the spot about it. And that question was mysteriously never asked again.
Now they just ask them when Earth is going to marry Mix.
Now I'm pretty sure it was to the point where it went into like their rider for interviews and things like that you could not ask them that.
That's another good point. I don't think people realize, and Bilkin straight up said it in his interview. He will say the questions you can and can't ask him, and he would in the beginning require getting the questions first. Like, some of this stuff is more controlled than you guys think it is. Like, and he really did not like things he couldn't handle extemporaneous. It scared him. And so go ahead.
Well, sorry. All I was going to say is they will ask questions that can make you think that that's something to be answered. So Earth and Mix have been asked, what kind of partner would you like to have? They've been asked like that question, or like, what are you like as a partner? Or like questions kind of around that, but never again been asked, but it was buried. It's very hard to find that interview today. And Pepe and Bilkin are the same in that there are questions you do not ask. And I think that's coming something that's happening more frequently with a bunch of the actors.
They're getting a little bit more agency, I think, in the control the press. It was really, I don't know what happened with the BKPP press stuff, because they were coming for them hard, trying to I don't think they were trying to find, I don't think they believed that there was all these dating rumors were true, but I think they were trying to use them to like get at a status of the relationship. But they were coming for them hard, and now they've completely shut that down and completely backed off.
This is one of those things where I think, because we know about fan service and all this kind of stuff, I think it's a way media and other people use it to delegitimize the stuff that's happening. Right. Also, some, not all. Because we are seeing more pushback also from just actors being like, well, we're not, like, no, I actually enjoy being around this person.
Yeah. And somebody who said it, I'm going backwards to make sure. Yeah, here for BL. I have already like ranted to these two, I think, about it.
You did.
And I will say it here. I really need people to stop prompting First and Cow to cry. Because it's getting, at this point, it's just cruel. The way that they are doing it is just a cruelty. They're asking meaner and meaner questions. The last one that I saw, because I try not to watch it anymore if I find out after the fact that they've cried. Seriously, I've stopped watching the crying interviews because it upsets me. Was when they said, okay, one of you has to forget the other and one of you gets to remember. So you guys choose. And Cow was the one who was like, First can forget because I don't want to forget him. And then First looked at him like, the audacity to which you think that I want to forget you. But it was just, it's so upsetting. Oh my gosh, the one that made me the angriest was when they made them play the I love you game. And then they said, look at the other and then say I love you, like as if it's the last time you're ever going to get to say I love you.
Why would you do that to somebody?
That was the nastiest thing I've ever seen somebody do to some. It was like, what? And they couldn't. They choked up. They couldn't. And I'm pretty sure Cow was like, I cannot do this. And First tried, but like Cow was like, I won't. I can't.
I will say the one where they did the one that the first one you mentioned, what got them crying in that interview was the question, who wakes up first.
I know.
Do you wake up early or do you sleep in? That's what made them cry.
Now,
And then
for that, I like, obviously that's on them, and I'm not bothered by that question because it was a very softball question. It's the questions that I just referred to that are the ones that are just mean. Like they're asking mean questions to elicit a really hardcore response, and I'm like, stop it.
One thing I found so there's some people that I guess I have to remember my version of fandom is not everyone's version of fandom. So when they were in China, this was a big name actress, a huge fan of theirs, interviewed them.
I'm literally screenshotting that. That is so funny.
Tria is dangerous. Oh, but there was this very famous actress, and she was interviewing them and like requested to interview them, and she asked them, "I've always wanted to know, why do you cry so much? I mean, I know you're close, you're super close, but every time you cry, tell me why you cry so much." And I was like, if you're a hardcore fan of theirs, then you know.
Yes.
Then you know. So I was really shocked, but she was like dead on, like, and then they're like, "Blah, da, be, da, da." They were like, I don't know.
I feel like Earth and Mix are using some of these questions about the divorce era to actually get to talk about what went down. Because it was like, weirdly enough, I think some of the questions they're getting asked in interviews are like cathartic for both of them, because they're getting to like explain where they were coming from, because it's all been just fan speculation on what was happening. We know that they will shut down the questions they don't want to answer.
Yeah, they don't have to tell us anything.
Yeah.
And they've given different sort of replies every time it's been asked. They kind of like break down a layer of what they're gonna share, and we kind of get more and so on in different contexts. So I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, this makes a little bit more sense.
I did have a hard time watching. I have a hard time watching Mix cry, but if I also think Earth would have been more protective if it was a situation where Mix was being put in a situation that was super uncomfortable.
I am Kelly and Shannon saw it too, and Laura definitely knows. My response to his crying was rage, and not like cute rage. I get really, really bothered with that question because we've gotten to a point where it feels invasive. And I know that they could go off into something else, but I have a really hard time watching Mix cry in pain. A lot of times when he cries on stage, he's not in pain. He's like overwhelmed with love, right? He's like overwhelmed with like the love of the fans, his love for Earth, like all these things coming together, right? When he cried about the divorce era, that was pain. He was crying in pain because it was a very hard, I cannot emphasize enough, you guys, very hard time for them. It lasted for like 6 months. It was rough. And it like literally their manager had to put them in a room in Khao Yai and say, figure it out, as she cried outside the room. Like it's, ugh.
I hear you, but I just hearing Shannon say that sometimes you have to like,
yeah, no,
do the painful stuff. Yeah, like I think
I agree with that. I just don't. I also don't love that it's playing out on a public.
I think we're probably at a point when they are like, when they feel that they've said what they want to say about it, we're not going to get the questions anymore. They're just going to stop.
Well, and I will also say that Mix really did not say much more than he had already said about it. That was how I knew that we're not going to get much more than we've already gotten. He really did not say a ton more than what he has already revealed.
I like that kind of sentiment of different things than working things out, because the people were starting hard, Bilkin and Pee when they do the hand hold each other hand song. I forgot the name of it. From I Promise You the Moon. They used to cry every time they sing it, and they've stopped. They don't cry as hard. But I personally think sometimes the tears, they're like, oh, do they not like love each other in the same way? I'm like, no, I think they're not afraid to lose each other anymore. They are not afraid that they're going to like let go of each other's hands anymore, because that's like the whole premise of the song. Please hold on to my hand, please stay with me. So I think there's going to be really the exciting point with Earth and Mix is when they are able to talk about it without being emotional, and I think that'll come.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes, I do think it makes sense.
People like it when they cry, man.
I don't like it when they cry.
I'm not a huge fan, but people, they were like, well, this is what they do though, because they cried so much when they stopped crying. They've now painted this thing on their relationship of, oh God, they must not be as deeply as in love anymore. And I'm like, what? It's healthy not to cry.
When I agree. I much prefer it when they do like when Mix does the like, stop it thing, or when I prefer anything else, because honestly they're like when they're crying, when they're like overwhelmed with love and those positive emotions, I don't get as upset. But when they are hurting, I really have a hard time with that. I have a really hard time with that.
Yeah.
Yes, when Mix falls into earth laughing is so good. I prefer the butt grabbing, you guys, to the
I think
tears.
Also, when you're dealing with super emotional people,
Literally just only heard that I prefer the butt grabbing, and I hear him go, jeez.
decorum. I do think though also when you're dealing with super emotional people, you're going to always get super. There was when PB was first doing his interviews, when he first started doing solo work, and he joked about being able to cry on cue, but then when he talked about Bilkin, he started to cry, and the interviewer was like, "Are you teasing me right now?" And he said, "I will always cry when Bilkin comes up. I cannot not cry." He's like, that is my true emotions. And on this topic, I will always cry. So there's never going to be a day when we get him to like chill out and not get teared up and emotional when talking about his feelings for Bilkin. That is,
yeah.
And I think Mix and Earth might have similar things about them. I don't think they're going to cry about certain things all the time.
By the way, Laura, specifically to Laura in this moment, I'm not saying that they don't get to feel the emotions. I'm not saying that they can't express those emotions. I'm saying for me as a person, I have a very hard time seeing him in pain because it elicits pain in me. I'm not saying he can't feel those emotions. Yeah. I'm saying I have a very hard time with it, which you know because I spent half an hour yesterday yelling at you about it. So
I don't think I could make it through one of those fan meets when they ask those questions. I wouldn't be able to be there.
I wouldn't.
The what is it? The Japan one that they did where they cry at the end. BKB cried. I can't watch that ending over and over again. People watch that ending over and it was so distraught. The tears were that was a moment where I was like, oh, I literally thought their partnership was ending when I watched that. They were so broken and I can't watch that again. So I hear you, friend.
Yeah.
I get it.
Now, what I would love to bring up yet again, because he just addressed it on his AMA yesterday, is Mix yet again emphasized that win is Mix and Mix is win. Did you see that? That got me. I was like, oh, golly day.
Earth gets excited about the fact that it's like a show off. You notice that? It is a show off.
He bagged himself.
I'm like, dude, chill. Stop telling us all your business.
Yeah, Earth is not Jim, so it's like, Earth, which of your characters is most like you? That is a question I've always wanted to ask him, because he's never said somebody was super like him of his characters.
Mm-hmm.
He's even said Wana was not super like him. Like, he was more like him than Jim, but he's still not super like him.
Lily, that the non-fan meet was too much.
I don't want to
talk literally
about non-fan meet.
Was thinking about that. They looked so offended when they asked them if that was real or not.
Oh, almost gonna punch somebody in the face.
Yeah.
Like, let's go outside.
Oh, so someone wanted to know, because I had once talked about like messy stuff and I was going to make a TikTok video about it and it involved Japan. And when I didn't, and everyone was like, oh, you never made a video. Why? And I was like,
No, sweetie.
because drama went down and I did not want to add to the insanity that everyone else was putting out there. But some of that drama was started by that fan meet, that very intense, emotionally draining fan meet for everyone involved.
Yeah.
That it was just like, holy shit. That was a lot.
Yeah.
It was like a point where I was like, oh, they're kind of like, and then I was like, oh, shit.
Hi, Queen.
Hi.
Yeah.
Ugh. Okay.
Love you.
Mm.
I love you. Should I do the big finger heart that looks really awkward? There it is.
Let's move from home to non to fun things.
Yeah, let's move away from
I like how you guys start talking. You talk about Omnanon when I'm not on the live. That's
do
fine.
you
we
want
had
us
that
to?
on exactly when you showed up.
Yeah, literally, you should.
And Red, it was not the Omnanon topic you want to be talking about. So
Yeah.
it's the opposite, and I don't want to talk about it either.
You have to do the
but I
little
will
guest
say,
thing.
I'm
You
okay
never
with
invite people.
I'm okay with them getting emotional. I just don't like when it stems from something more negative. I really don't like when it's the questions that are really not great. And
Aw. Thank you, Laura.
Wait.
Why? This is what destroys me. I have really liked certain ships, and all of these ships have had actual very intense things. Like I've had some, like ships break up. Okay. But one of my favorite ships had like one of the most dramatic endings ever, Sam and you, right? And I'm like, damn. And
How'd I
then
know you were gonna bring
I think about the fact that multiple ships have had a divorce era. And it's like, yeah, there's just a divorce era. But then Earth and Mix had like a divorce era. That was not work. That was like, and so I'm like, what? What am I attracted to? Because I think I need to do some soul searching at the moment.
I think you trauma bond.
No, so I
I'm
actually talked
starting
to
to think.
I talked to Kelly about this and the chat obviously earlier, in that last year was wild because we had 4 different divorce eras occur at the same time, and they all had varying levels of length. So like I think Bilkin and PP had the shortest one.
Yeah.
I think, funny enough, I think Earth Mix had the next shortest one, even though it was 6
Really?
months. Yeah.
Who had the longest?
Because Offgun had a long
this was a
ass
long
divorce era.
Yeah, that's right.
And then,
we're bad.
I'm sorry, it's just facts. Om Nanan, we are
I know.
still rolling around in it. So
I know.
that they're the longest running, but it's funny to think, it's depressing as well to think that Earth Mix had the shortest one at 6 months. But
Theirs was very intense, though.
Yeah.
The
level of intensity is different.
Just told Kelly in the chat, like it's something that the entire fandom is still recovering from. We have actual trauma around it. And their weirdness right now is setting off a lot of that trauma.
This is kind of funny to me, but this is like when everything was and is still happening with Freen and Becky, and the fans were like, they would tell me, they were like, you don't understand because you weren't there. You don't know what we're feeling. And I'm like, bitch, no, I get it. Okay, I've gone through some shit with ships, but like you gotta, there's a thing. And I'm like, people, like, it's a puppy. And I think Earth and Mix are an excellent example. I'm like, we've been through some things, and I don't know. You don't blame the people who are going through the real life shit. You're not like,
No.
how dare you make me feel this way? Like, what?
It's so weird, man.
Guys, she was being so cute a second ago. That's why I was trying to show her. I wasn't trying to interrupt Shannon. It was just that she was being really cute.
I was gonna say I'm embarrassed about the BKPP divorce era when I went back and looked at the house.
That was hilarious.
Yeah, but Kelly,
So short.
but But
Because not everyone else
discuss-
had Jackson Wang get involved, okay?
But like,
Not everyone else had
Jackson
Jackson
Wang,
Wang
the
show
marriage
up and
counselor.
take their honey boo out on a date, okay? That cleared that shit up real fast.
but as we discussed, Kelly, it depends on what you count as divorce era because they had some weirdness for much longer than the
That's
official
true.
era.
Okay,
What
you
up,
make a good
Steve?
point. It went on for a while.
What up,
There was
Steve, my sweet sweet king.
Huh? Oh,
He ate.
He ate. Look at Steve,
Yeah.
guys.
Oh,
Sweet prince.
damn it. I want a pet.
He's the best.
Not right now, Shannon. Later.
No,
Not right now.
not until
I
all
will
your
get
kids
you
are in
a pet.
elementary
I will
school.
find one. I will get one to you, but not right now.
so irritated. I am sorry that I cannot
What?
get my siblings to watch BL, but there's apparently a huge discussion about red, white, and blue in my sibling chat right now.
Yeah, that's
we can talk
bullshit.
about red, white, and blue, but we can't freaking
No.
talk about BL.
No. That's
Okay.
bullshit.
How dare they?
I'm sorry.
Yep.
I'm just seeing them pop up and they're like, but I think, because they read the book too and whatever. Rage. Keep going. I forgot.
Little did they realize we were on live heavily discussing it, not but a couple hours ago.
We were. I did.
My sibling group chat is all about what's going on with the Spanish Federation.
Ooh, I just learned about that.
We've been talking.
Dang.
You guys on? Well, here's the thing. Kind of like some of the commentary is like the level of misogyny and sexism that is like being shown. The cult, I grew up. Okay. Well, my dad is home and I was like, where is he? The cult I grew up in was started in Spain. And we were like,
Oh, I got pretty plain.
I'm so sorry. Okay, he didn't hear. We're good.
Thank you.
You need a code word for that.
For
Yeah.
dad?
No.
The
Party.
pineapple.
Call it a party.
The party that started. Yeah.
The party.
I'm sorry, I was. Shannon can tolerate my.
Alicia?
I was just thinking
Anyway.
because like one time I was working at this school who had people from the party who worked there,
Yeah.
and I got called in to like the head person's office because they had found out that someone had told them that I called the party a party, and they were like, "You can't do that because we're in line with the church." And I was like, "But I didn't do that." And they're like, "These people." I was like, "But those people are friends with my sister. I'm pretty sure it's my sister who did this." And I got fired.
Wow.
I mean, a great way to say we're not a party is to fire someone.
Yeah.
I was gonna say there's no better
Not
way
sus at
party.
all.
than firing somebody for talking about being
The party.
as a party.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We're not a party, we're a social gathering.
Hi, Jacob.
Oh my god.
Put
I
on
did
a
go-
shirt.
Anyway, that was a really good.
Oh,
That was a good joke.
Joke.
Yeah.
oh wow. Whew.
Good stuff. Oh,
But yeah, very accurate. Spot on.
I feel like the Freen Becky fandom has taught me how far we have not come.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say that.
A little reality check.
Learned a lot through that, and that makes me sad that it's like other couples who maybe thought we'd gotten a little better are watching that like, oh damn,
Yeah.
damn.
I
Like,
still, guys, I need to send you the infographic one of these like fans made to prove that they were queer baiting. They
Oh
were
my
like,
god.
you know, it's the greatest infographic I've ever seen in my life because they were like, queer baiting is when you imply that there will be like a queer relationship and then you don't deliver one.
in film.
And then they used things they said because they were like, it was like Freen being like, yeah, I hope my partner is like this or this. And then like later on, she would say something about Becky, like, I hope my partner is soft. And later on, she'd be like, Becky's like a really soft person I know. And like, I hope I never lose her in my life. And then at the bottom in red to show the queer baiting, they had all the times Freen or Becky referred to each other as just sisters. And I was like, what's like, do you maybe see how this proves that they weren't queer? when you start pulling out
Math
their
is
direct
hard for
quotes
people. Let
saying,
them be.
we're not in a
That is hard.
relationship.
I don't understand working that hard to be upset with someone. Like, let it go, man. Why are you that? I still don't understand being that entangled in other people's relationships.
Calls coming from inside the house.
It just, oy. I don't
I'm
even
gonna go
get
find it,
upset
'cause it
when
was
my
funny.
friends break up or with other people or any of that.
Oh.
My actual friends. Oh, hello.
Baby.
Like,
I got
it just,
launched
no.
off of because the other cat scared her.
Becca, just because she said they're not dating doesn't mean they're not dating.
Yeah.
God, guys.
I'm like,
But remember, we have to listen to what they say.
Mm.
That's always what I get told is like we have to listen to what they say, not what you think.
if anyone's interested in GL books, apparently that's where my sibling conversation has moved on
Yeah.
to.
Have they
I
said?
am.
Oh,
Tell me
Right.
one that they
GL
said.
books now. Huh?
Start screenshotting that shit, Kelly.
Yeah.
I'll go back. They're
Okay.
they're very lively for a Saturday. I don't understand.
I'm assuming
But Shannon, if you hadn't
it's referenced in red, white, and royal blue. So
Hmm?
What?
One last stop.
yeah, I'm assuming they've pivoted to
Okay,
that
but
because it was in red, white,
listen.
royal blue.
Oh.
I'm just going to tell you that one last stop is time travel and amnesia.
Yeah, it is. It's not.
Yeah.
That would be my sister's wheelhouse. That is, she loves all that stuff.
But the
Oh my
spice is
God.
spicy.
Pick a trope. That's a lot. That's a lot for
She
one.
loves all that
I mean, they're
stuff.
stuck on a.
Do you know what Korean drama absolutely ruined Amnesia for me? And I'm not even sure
I
it's
do
as
want to know, so I
Amnesia.
never watch
Is
it.
it young lady and a gentleman?
That Winter the Wind Blows.
I thought you were describing it
Oh,
instead of
yeah.
saying a title. I was like, that's every K drama.
I hate amnesia.
Like, yeah.
Listen, I'm not even sure there wasn't an Amnesia plotline in there, but it made me hate it. And I don't know how to describe
How
this
is
to you.
that? How does it not having one make you hate having one?
That's a good question.
How does that
really.
work?
Was it was the siblings in love trope, but not siblings in love. And I swear Amnesia was also involved, but not
You're
Amnesia. And I got
Making
to
this
the
even more
end.
confusing.
Do you have
I got-
amnesia about this show?
confused. How do all those things
I'm
work?
going to explain to you the plot real fast. This man is a con man,
Okay.
and one of his friends dies, passes away. But he finds out that like his friend was like super wealthy and all this kind of stuff, and then that his friend has a sister he hasn't seen since he was a child, and the sister is blind. So he pretends to be her long lost brother because she's blind. Like she's not going to be able to like really tell physically, and they haven't seen each other since they were children. Okay.
Okay.
I think there's amnesia from like childhood events maybe or something that's involved, but they start falling for each other. He knows that this woman's not related to him. She's just like a very attractive person. And he is falling for her. She thinks he's her brother. Okay. I
We
can't
hate it.
explain to you. I watched this whole thing and I was like, no, shut this romance down. Oh my God. And then they make like a villain of like the stepmommy character who's like, I don't approve of your guys' relationship. I was like, that was the only sane character in the show. You're trying to villainize her? I was like, yeah. And they're like, we think she might have like offed the dad. I was like, I hope she You all are crazy. Yeah. Exactly.
Speaking of K-dramas with similar plots, but that did not have an amnesia plot, but one that you should avoid if you really don't like the we're not siblings, but we are tricked into thinking we are for a minute, but we fall in love anyway. Do not watch My Father is Strange. Just don't watch it.
I feel like the title
Name
should have been a
already
warning.
means that I probably wouldn't have watched it.
I actually really liked it, but don't watch it. No, the worst, in my opinion, the worst amnesia plot I have ever seen, which is saying something, is from Young Lady and a Gentleman. And that show was set up so freaking well, and then he got amnesia, and then they dragged it on for like 20 episodes.
Oh gosh, no.
Do you want to know a show that's going to have an amnesia plot line that's coming out?
Naughty Babe?
Naughty Babe.
Yeah.
I'm not watching
I
it.
remember. See, this is my struggle. I can't. It doesn't look like it lasts too long from the.
No,
But
so
then it looks like
well,
other infuriating things happen.
in the book, it lasts for like
Kiva, what happened?
24 hours, but then he fakes it. He pretends to have amnesia.
That's like worse.
That is worse.
Yeah, it's in the previews, you guys.
Why
If you
are
just watch
those
the
books-
trailer.
Why are those
I'm not
books
watching
so hell bent on them to
Yes.
be the foundation of the
Oh,
relationship?
And
No.
and Z's character is like, oh yeah, you have a chance for a redo. He says
I
that in the trailer.
hated Z's character in Cutie Pie and in Naughty Babe. I was very, very okay. This is
In the
again
books?
something I think is funny because everyone thought I hated like Nunu and all this stuff. No, I was pro Nunu and Nat's character running the hell away together and living a beautiful life with their beautiful little faces. Because my God,
Mhm.
oh, all the other ones were just and that author has something with age gaps because the prequel novels that's like about parents also lying and a horrifying. Luckily for you, they were just in time legal plot line.
Yes. I have read the source material, unfortunately. Yes. Yeah.
I think I just.
It's not for me.
There's nothing in me. I'm sorry. That can make me watch Naughty Babe. I said it.
Nope,
I can't.
same.
I will wait for the
Ma'am,
other show.
I'm going to, but that's because I sometimes enjoy red flags.
Scary when you
That's
phrase
funny.
it like that.
I don't.
I'm going to, but I like to torture myself in general, so it's fine.
Yeah, I don't.
And it is
well,
definitely for
I'm-
some people.
I read the source material, so
It
I
is.
want to know what they changed because I want to know if they they kind of made it
You
look
mean like if they gave it a plot?
well that, but also it kind of looks like it already looks like from the trade. Oh my God.
What?
Oh my God. Is that James? Oh my God.
It is.
What?
Whoa, James.
Oh.
Proceed.
I-
Continue with conversation. I just don't want to see my
Sorry,
face.
Sorry.
You
No,
should
I
probably
wanna see-
DM that to us.
I can do that.
Thank you,
A
buddy.
large portion of the plot line with Nat's character in the book is that he thinks he did some non-con and he's afraid of telling Max's character that he did some non-con to him. And it looks like they've changed that in Naughty Babe.
So I will say,
I'm curious.
I'm the writer. If it's the same set of writers, there is some hope because they are very aware of the issues with a lot of these older books, and I really like the writers. Let me just say, they did a lot of work.
Me too.
They paid attention. They talked about how intentional they were and how they approached the script, how they looked at the international audience, not just Thai audiences. They said they read every comment. They go to message boards. They probably are on TikTok, but they want to hear what people, and this was prior to Cutie Pie. They really wanted to understand what's the zeitgeist, like what's going on, to make sure they tried to, but they talked about, to be fair, how difficult it is to walk the line of what's acceptable internationally and what's acceptable in Thailand, because Thailand does not like you to go too far from the book. They don't
Right.
like it. So the way we're like, oh, thank God, what are you doing? I loved the book. So it's tough. It's tough.
And see, my frustration is that there's a plenty of ways that these writers can adapt books where they can keep to literally everything except for the non-con. The non-con does not always have
Sorry.
to.
The thing that kind of kills me with these books. Okay, I am with Laura. This is a lot of people's jam. These are the type of like lighter stories. They just want this little like. There's a small little problem that they can like overcome like with a conversation. But this is the kind of stuff. It's just like one conversation. But anyways, I struggle because I am not actually a fan of romance. I'm not a fan of romance novels. I'm not a fan of like all of. Huh?
I said yeet from the live.
I'm not a fan.
Also, you need to explain yourself because I disagree. But go on.
Because I want there to be another plot, like a bigger, like if it's a murder and then the romance is like woven in, these people are like doing it within the murder mystery, I'm hooked. I love it. But I have to take massive breaks from the shows, or I will choose not to watch a ton of shows if I know the majority of this plot is like just another college romance or another office romance. Throw in a stalker. Let's get a serial killer out here. Like,
Well, the Hidden Agenda is right up your alley. Well, then you should be jumping into Hidden Agenda because we have a stalker, folks.
oh,
Yeah,
I watch
are
it
you
now.
watching Laws of Attraction?
Girl, we got a stalker.
I'm waiting because I don't really enjoy. I knew I would like Laws of Attraction, and so I didn't want to do week by week.
Okay, the Manor of Death vibes though. I just paused
Yeah.
it to hang out with you guys.
Yeah.
I love Manor of Death.
I'm opposite of Shannon. Keep that mess out of my romance and just let them fall in love and get married. Give me Hallmark. Not all the time. I need a balance. But sometimes
I like both.
want my Hallmark.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
totally.
solid both. I'm good with either.
I'm
Yeah.
So
good
it's
either.
one of the
I really
reasons.
like a solid combo of the two.
Yes.
But my thing that I don't see a lot of, which I'd like to see more of, that I cannot believe I'm giving credit to Ilong Nai for anything, but I am. I really like to see an established couple around. I
Yes,
really
same.
like to
Yes.
see, like
Yeah,
the
I love
domestic
that.
bliss. And I mean this for not just Thai shows, but across the board. Give me the domestic bliss. It's one of the
Yes.
reasons I like K-dramas is because they will get them in a relationship and they'll give you a few episodes of them in the relationship. C-dramas do it as well. I'm like,
Yeah.
I like that. Give me more of that, please.
No, Happy Boyfriend.
C-dramas have to do it because they give you 36 episodes. They have to fill it with something. God damn it.
Yeah,
well,
C-drama
so, like,
should push it.
This should tell you, like, my perfect show that was like a great blend of romance and also like what the hell is happening was When the Camellia Blooms. That
Oh,
was
yeah.
amazing.
That's
But also
great
a show that tricked me was Because This Is My First Life, and I love it. It tricked me, but it was still amazing. So, you got to just give me something other than two people struggling to find a way to tell the other one that they like the person's face. Because after a bit, I can't do it. I can't do it anymore.
Shannon. I have the perfect K-drama for you.
So Between Us isn't for you.
Look, I
It's
watched
fine.
it and I loved it. It was beautiful and everything like that. It was not the easiest thing for me to get through.
A lot of just character development. You like a plot. Got it. Okay.
But they had such good characters that I was like, damn. So I get like characters will carry me through when it's not a big heavy plot show. But a lot of the times they're not writing super like well developed characters, and I'm
Yeah.
just sitting there like Bed Friends. I could not
Yes.
sit through.
I liked Bed Friends.
I
I
love
love Bed Friend.
oh my gosh, Net. Okay.
Also, you need to send that to us.
Okay, Shannon, have you heard of the show My Secret Terrius?
Yes.
You would like that. It's
Oh, really?
very low romance. Very low romance. Very high intrigue, mystery, spies, but also found family, which I don't know if you like the found family trope, but it is heavily
It's
there.
the best. I love that.
Yes.
Fan family is my
It's
ultimate
very
trope.
Yeah,
Like,
isn't
for
that film?
instance, Flower of Evil is like a romance to me.
Well, I mean, technically it is in a way
Yeah.
with an established couple.
Have you watched The Untamed?
I've read it. I loved that.
Okay,
The
I'm reading-
Untamed was my
Because
bread and butter. That was fantastic.
Right, because I'm in book 3, but so
And the
far